walked down off the platform. He walked down the aisle. I was sitting right next to an aisle. He was walking down my aisle, and he stopped, and he laid his hands on my wife and I right in the middle of the message. And he gave us this word, this mighty word. But in the midst of that, at the end of that word, he said this. He said, there will be costly decisions that you will have to make. He said, but you can never outgive the Lord. There will be costly decisions that you will have to make, but you can never outgive the Lord. And I was back there, and I had a picture of this river flowing out of this place. There's a river that's going to be released out of this place. There's a river being released out of this place. The river of God, and it's going to flow back into our communities, back to our schools, back into our families. It's going to change you. Wherever the river of God flows, things are changed. Things never stay the same. When the floodwaters in the Mississippi right now the Mississippi River is beginning to flood, and it's going down through the towns, and it's creating a path, and you can't stop it. They're putting up walls and sandbags, which they're having a hard time stopping it. And I believe many of you are going to go out, and we're going through this river. But here's what I felt in my sense. There's some here that there's going to be some costly decisions because you've tied off to the banks, you've tied off to a tree. I sense that. It's time to cut the rope. It's time to burn the bridge. It's time to let go and begin to flow where the river of God takes you. It may be time to change some relationships. It may be time to step out in a new level of boldness. It may be time to begin to step out and to pray for the sick and to go after the things that the Lord's put in your heart. It's time to let go, to cut the rope and begin to flow in the river of God, because it's going to change things. And He's going to use you and you and me and all of us together, and we're going to make a difference. We're going to change this world. We're going to see revival come to our land. We're going to see revival come to our land. So, I was talking about this earlier, I think one morning when I kind of opened up, and I love the Hebrides revival. I love this revival off the coast of Scotland. And it says in there that 75% of the people that came to Jesus, they were converted outside the walls of the church. People would be working in the fields. People would be working at the other factories, and all of a sudden the Spirit of God would just come, and conviction would move upon them, and they would fall on their knees, and they would begin to repent. And the only reason they would come to the church was to find out what they needed to do next. Revival is not just an evangelistic crusade and meeting. Revival is not a Jesus culture conference. Revival happens when our community is touched, and there's a God conscience that begins to happen within our city. When Laguna Niguel begins to take notice that something's happening at BCC, when the mayor begins to call Pastor Mike and say, I'm hearing reports of things that are happening. I'm hearing that our crime is going down in our city. That's when we know revival is beginning to happen, because the community begins to become aware that God is moving in the place. That's what we're after. We want to see this go out beyond the walls, and it's you and all of us together, cutting the ropes, going after it, saying, I'm surrendering all. I'm moving in the river of God, and there's nothing that's going to stop me. Nothing's going to hold me back. Nothing's going to hold me back. Nothing's going to hold me back. So we're going to leave this place tonight. We're going back to our communities, and we're going to change the world for Him. We're going to change the world for Him. Put a hand on somebody's shoulder and just begin to speak over